having my tea, morning tea. You know, hey, Instagram, it's me, T, drinking my tea from the Pattersons, taking the train to Tibet. Oh wow, I have my got my Angel. I'm sorry, my Tupac look. Let me just turn this back because I sleep with that sometimes on my head because I do it that way to cover my ears so if mosquitoes come, they don't be pestering me or waking me up like that. But that's not what we're talking here. Wow, I got something to look. Let me say something to you. I've been advocating for a while now, actually for more than a while. But even in the early '80s when I started recording, being a recordist, I advocated back then. I said, look, everybody, you should be, recording your stuff and recording your elders, and because sometime in the future you're gonna have these. Anyway, that's not the point. So I advocate even right now for everybody, please, even if you're not into it, or sit down with somebody like that and just spew, spew like spore, throw your spores out here. When you get your device and just talk. You can talk long, short. No. You can talk short. I talk long sometimes. Don't worry about that. Okay, but the reason I'm saying that is because you will find you'll find other people doing what they do. Like for instance, a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago, something like that, maybe even longer than that, I was railing about something with South Africa, like something with the SAAA, the South African Airlines, and a whole tirade on the state of South Africa, right? And of course, nobody listened to me. But a few years after that, I saw this YouTube thing where this professor or an academic was talking at a lecture at the University of Cape Town, and he was saying the same thing I was saying. What I'm trying to say is that you're not alone, right? So in that spirit, I want to put a shout out to Anton Daniels, who has let's just call it internet presence. Anton Daniels, he has a little saying, "My life is an open book." See, we're brothers, man. We just like that, man. I don't know the brother. I just saw his post. He's really talking about what happened with Michelle not going to, not saying she's not going to the thing and didn't go to the inaugural, and saying that she and of course she didn't show up at Jimmy Carter's funeral. And I did a post. I think it was yesterday. When I did a post talking about, hey, you his wife, you supposed to be doing it, stop doing with that, all these black women, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, don't worry about that part. The point is he was saying the same thing I was saying. So even if you look at stuff and you see people saying this, saying that, you will find somebody in your lane. But that's also not what I'm talking about today. Man, I'm telling you, things is happening, right? I was listening to this other lady, Lady Boulay, or something like that. She was talking about people getting citizenship in Ghana, and how even white people they getting citizenship in Ghana. It's hilarious to me. You better how do you say beware what you wish for, because it might come your way. Because I guess there's this big move. Black people, and most people do things, we're herd animals, so we do things as herd, right? So she was saying, like, a lot of people in Atlanta talk about going to Africa, and everybody wants to go back to Africa, people are coming and getting their citizenship, celebrities and all the rest of that stuff. Fine and dandy, do what you will, right? My whole thing, right, well, I won't get into the permanent residency in South Africa, but my whole thing is basically what I want. I don't necessarily want citizenship. Well, no one necessarily. No, I don't want citizenship. I want an all-Africa visa. Let me close this door. People, I'm at a guest house, and move it. It's in the morning. Some guests are leaving. I have my own healing room. They like that. Anyway, so what was I? So I think what should happen is you get an all Africa visa, so you can go any place in Africa rather than being how you say it, being a citizen of one country. Plus, let me put it this way. See, here's my passport back there. That makes me an American African. He said, well, that's because the passport, I go any place in the world because the dollar is still king. And if I get my permanent residency in South Africa, that means somehow the BRICS will be involved, you see? So it'll be worth, so who knows, the BRICS might be the means of exchange. The point is, I always got strategies. The point is, you want to make it so that you're not beholden, you're as flexible as possible, that you have movement. Well, look, I don't like to be caged, so, I don't want to be, okay. So what I'm saying is like, you want to have your flexibility, but at the same time you want to be you. Okay. Now I happen to have different realities wherever I go, so it's kind of different, right? But what she was saying, Lady Boulay, that is that all these people are coming, and it's a thing now. It's a thing now. But let me say this to you as a person, please. I know you don't listen to, look, if you're over 9 years old, you don't listen to nobody, you go along with the herd. I understand that. I'm not dissing you for that. I'm not telling you not to do anything. That's the wrong thing to do. Anybody over 9 years old, you cannot tell them what to do. I'm just telling you. In fact, more like if you tell them not to do something, that's what they're going to do, right? That's just the nature of being a human being on the planet. But let me give you this advice. If you're going to come to Africa, especially if you think you're going to live or work or do entrepreneur, whatever you think you're going to do here. Well, that's good. Actually, it's a good time now because I know Steve Coakley's organization, I think they're in Tanzania, they do the moringa powders and these healthy stuff. They got a complex that they grow stuff and they sell online on the internet. I guess they can make money like that. So you can go any place now in the world. If you got the internet, you can make a monies. That's good. But here's the thing, man. When you come to Africa, you have to understand whatever country you go to, you need to pay attention to you should scope it out first. Now, I have an interesting situation in that if I go someplace, I can scope it out first by being an audio dramatist and doing audio drama workshops or whatever have you. In fact, if I do a workshop in whatever country I'm in the world, I only have two rules, right, when you're creating the audio drama. One, no cursing, because it comes to the tradition of radio. Two, you cannot do anything against the constitution of the country that you're in. So if I'm doing an audio drama in India right now, if I do an audio drama in India, I can't I can't do nothing against the constitution. You understand what I'm saying? But here's the thing that I see with a lot of, especially American Africans that pluck themselves out someplace. They just come, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. They will say, for instance, say they have some money, right, means, right? They will be almost like a colonizer, a European, right? They'll come and they'll build in their compound, right? They won't be, they'll build a gated community. They'll make a gated community. Well, it's where you have to because for certain things, but But not everybody cannot do a gated community to protect yourself. But also they wall themselves off. And then, plus a lot of people come because they have means. They are necessarily of the so-called middle class. They got some means. They got things to protect and whatever have you. And so therefore, they act middle class. They basically, it's like the war in Vietnam. The reason why, one of the reasons why, America lost the war in Vietnam, because the soldiers and everything, they tried to bring their Vietnam, their American reality to Vietnam. If you see Apocalypse Now, with the thing with the Playboy bunny, they always want to be American. I can't spend. Let me leave that one alone. The point is, I'm not saying you have to know yourself. If you go further, if you're American African, Black American, whatever it is, then you have to understand that you're at a certain point, right? But if you dig deep enough into yourself, then you really go back to your African roots. Now, if you're American African, remember, you might have some European in you. I know I have some European in me because that's what it is. I have some Mohawk Indian in me, right? And of course I have African in me, right? So, it's kind of weird to say I'll just hone in on the African side when you got this other stuff too. This is the thing about being I say an amalgamation. American, Black Americans, we have the unique thing of being not only the fighters, you know what I mean, on the front line, the tip of the spear, you know what I mean, because we can't go. We're in the belly of the beast. We got to fight the belly of the beast, and lead the way so people can understand what we're doing. But you know. We because we're leaders, we can show the way. So let me again say, if you're going to be middle class or whatever, people of substance, you know, some celebrity coming to Africa, I don't know. I think you should, you know, do your research. Don't just pluck it. I'm going to give them a citizenship. And then you start being, as they used to say, an ugly American. You know, let me give you a better example. I was at Yassine Bey, you know, Mos Def. He was in South Africa, right? And he overstayed his visa. And then he started, you know, all beefing and said, oh, they're kicking me out of South Africa. Well, brother, you have the means. You should have and you knew how, if you was going to overstay, you could overstay your thing. But first you got to ask, you know. So he didn't go to Home Affairs. He didn't go through the process. But he gets those stuff beefing like, South Africa, this. Look, man. Okay, let me leave him. I'm sorry. A celebrity thing that got to my head. All I'm saying is do your research. Don't come here being a colonizer, right? Here, don't come to Africa, as Mangalusa Robinson Bukwe said. If you're coming to Africa, you better have you got to be humane. You got to have your humanity. If you come to Africa bullying and not being humane, or trying to run a scam, or say I'm gonna make some T-shirts. Well, you can make some T-shirts in the States, or make some T-shirts wherever in England, wherever it is, you know. So let me just stop right there. Because you know me, I'll go on, blah. I'll go on and on and on and on. Just do your due diligence if you're gonna, you know, do what you need to do. But do what you want to do, because you're an adult. If you're a child here, you know, y'all got a better dang chance because Hey, look, you should learn some French, right? Because Africa is making. Especially if you're a musician, learn some French, because some music, Africa has some incredible musicians and music, man. Whoa, unbelievable. Anyway, the point is, do what you need to do, prepare yourself, and I'll talk to you another time. Later.